Hi everyone! Today we're making really delicious keto snacks. Today we're going to create two fantastic keto snacks using the gluten-free bread recipe. So if you've been making this bread from the last video, you're in luck because you already know how to create the bread dough. So these recipes work for both the gluten-free bread dough and also the Vital Wheat gluten dough. Okay, so you can use either, but today I'm going to use the gluten-free bread dough because it works for everyone. So the first snack we're going to make is an obvious candidate. We're going to use the bread dough to create pizza. And if you've been making pizza using my 1-carb flatbread recipe, you're going to love this one because the texture of the base is even closer to the regular pizza dough. And the second snack I'm going to show you is how to turn this bread dough into really gorgeous savory pancakes. Veggie pancakes. I've been so addicted to these pancakes, I've been making batches of them and I can't wait to share the recipe with you. So let's start. So the first thing we're going to make is the pizza. So what you want to do is to preheat your oven to 200 degrees and let's create the pizza. Okay, let's make the pizza base. So this dough has been left to rest for a little while. Let's take it out. And I'll put a link to how to make this dough under the video title so you can have a look. So for me, this dough will make 4 pizzas. So I'm going to cut it in half. So as I'm making pancakes today as well, so I'm going to take half to make the pizza. So this will make me 2 pizzas. And the other half, I'm going to divide in 4 to make the pancakes. So I've got half of my dough here. I'm going to divide it further in 2. So each chunk will make me 1 pizza base. So this is up to you how big you want to make a pizza, but this is my ideal size. So I've got my baking tray here and it's lined with a layer of baking sheets. And then on top of baking sheet, I'm going to just drizzle a little bit of oil. We're going to just coat the base with some olive oil or any oil of your choice. And then I'm going to take my dough ball and just quickly roll it into a ball shape. And then just place the dough in the center and I'm going to spread it into a pizza shape or whatever shape you desire. I'm going to just spread it to fit this baking tray. So use your fingers, just spread it outwards. So you want to spread it reasonably thin, but not too thin obviously. Okay, that looks good. So now you have 2 options. If you prefer your pizza base firmer, then put the base into the oven and pre-bake for 5 minutes. But if you like your base kind of gooey and doughy, then just use it directly and put toppings on them. So I like my life easy, so I'm not going to pre-bake it. I'm going to just put the topping straight on top. So on top of the base, you can use tomato sauce. Obviously, you can make your own really easily. Just cook down some chopped tomatoes and add a bit of seasoning. That's your tomato base. But instead, today, I'm going to use my vegan pesto sauce. So if you'd like to know how to make this vegan pesto, I'll put the link underneath as well. And I find pesto is a fantastic pizza base. And it just gives it a different twist. That's how I've been eating my pizza in the last few days. So I'm going to just take a large spoon, just generously spread it on top. So this is all I've got left over, so I should have enough. Okay, that's beautiful. So with the toppings, these are my vegetables, all my favorite things. So I just use the vegetable peeler and just shave off a few pieces of courgette. So I'm going to just place it on top. Again, I'm improvising. Okay, so I'm making some nice pattern, just something like that. And maybe some go vertically as well. Another piece goes something like this. And then I'm going to just put a few pieces of tomatoes on top. Oh, this is so good. Okay. And then I'm going to sprinkle a few pieces of red onions. So you can really be creative with your pizza. I just use whatever I've got and whatever I like. Okay, some onions. And the last but not least, I've got some grated vegan cheese. So I'm going to sprinkle some on top. I mean, you really can't go wrong with this, can you? All right, so this is going to the oven. Oh, I can't wait. So while the pizza is in the oven, let's move on to the pancakes. Let's create the fillings for the pancakes. Okay, to make the pancake fillings is super easy. I've got a frying pan here, and then I've got some chopped mushrooms and some chopped onions. You can use practically any kind of vegetables you have left over in your fridge. Mushrooms and onions are great, but you can use spinach, courgette, carrots, anything you have. So I'm going to add some oil, generous amount of oil in the frying pan, and let's turn the heat on. So I'm using medium heat and give it a little swirl, and I'm going to pop in my onion. So I'm going to fry the onions first, just bring out all the flavors. So the vegetable is being cooked down nicely, and now we're going to season it. We're going to first of all add in some salt. So just have a few pinches and see how it goes. And then we're going to add in the star ingredient of this filling, which is white pepper. So we're going to add in generous amount. You need to taste your fillings and see how it goes and see how much more seasoning you need. We want it nice and peppery. So if you don't have white pepper, you can use black pepper. It would still be delicious, but I really recommend white pepper because it gives you that really aromatic, vibrant flavor that only white pepper can do. Okay, I think our vegetables are ready, and let's switch off the heat. And now I'm going to just pull it aside and leave it to cool, and then we can make the pancakes. So let's make the pancakes. So the whole recipe of the gluten-free bread should make you 8 of these pancakes. So roll it into a ball, and then we're going to flatten it. And we're going to create this little vessel for the fillings to go in. So you just press from the bottom to the outside, to the edges, and start to create this kind of saucer shape. And then here's our fillings. It's better to do it when the fillings completely cool off. And I'm going to just scoop the fillings in. So I need to remember not to overdo it. I always put too much fillings in my pancakes or my dumplings. Press it down a little bit. This should be okay. And what you do is to pick up from the edges and start to fold it in. You see what I'm doing? Pick up the edges and fold it. So don't worry if it doesn't look really attractive. We're not trying to create patterns like we make gyoza. We're just simply trying to close off the edges. So you just pull the edge in and then create a little pleat. And then kind of press down your fillings in at the same time. And then continue to pick up the edges and fold it in. And eventually you will get to the point that you can close off the edges. And this is how people make those buns, the steam buns. But we don't need to make it pretty, we just need to be able to close off the edges like this. And then you just roll it gently in your hands a few times. And then press it down slightly. So you create this nice little pancake with a filling inside. So this is pancake number 1. So let me show you one more time. You just roll your dough in your hands and then press it from the middle outwards and create this little shallow pocket that you can put your fillings in. And then scoop in your fillings. And then from the edge, just pick up one edge and then make a little pleat. And then pick up the next bit and do it again. And gradually close up the edges. I mean, talking about cooking being therapeutic, nothing beats making these little buns. Okay, now we're close. Now pinch the whole thing together and then roll it in your hand a few times and then press it down slightly, gently. Here's our pancake number 2. Okay, so that's our 2 pancakes done. They're so adorable. Let's fry them. Okay, let's cook the pancakes. So the first thing we're going to do is drizzle some oil in the frying pan and then turn the heat on. So turn the heat way down to the lowest setting you can get. We're going to slow cook the pancakes. So if your heat is too high, the surface is going to brown too soon and the center is not going to be cooked properly. And then while the oil is still cool, we're going to add in our pancakes. So I'm going to place one down and then the other. Just give it a gentle press here. And then just roll your pancakes on the frying pan to make sure it's coated with the oil. An important thing is not to touch them, not try to move them in the first few minutes. We're going to allow the base to be crusty, so don't touch them for a few minutes and just cover it with a lid. I mean, one of these days I'll get a lid that actually fit my frying pan, but for now, this would do. Okay, so I flip them over and just make sure you have enough oil to cook the base. Then we're going to put the lid on and make sure your heat is low still. And we're going to cook further for a few more minutes. Okay, I think our pancakes are ready. They look absolutely sensational. So the pancakes are ready. Let's take the pizza out of the oven. So there you go. Here's our fantastic keto snacks. So I'm going to go for the pizza first. Okay, so I'm going to just take a slice from here and just quarter it. Oh, nice and gooey and lovely. So look at this, nice and gooey. I really love the soft base, but if you like it firmer, just pre-bake the base, as I said. The pesto and the courgette work so well together, and the sourness coming from the tomatoes. And the base is just lovely. Look at that. Like it's proper pizza base. It's really, really good. Really good. Now onto the pancakes. I'm going to show you what it's like inside. Piping hot. So I'm going to show you what it's like in these pancakes. Seriously, it smells so fantastic as well. The lovely aromatic white pepper with these lovely vegetables. You really can't ask for more. This is home cooking at its best for me. So there you go. That's a handsome looking piece of pancake there. I've been making and eating these pancakes for the last few days. But every time I bite into it, I still get that wow feeling. That, ugh, thank you so much, pancake. That kind of feeling. This is just so good. It's got that crusty surface and then really nice and gooey, almost mochi-like inside. And the vegetables, as I said, you can use any vegetables you like. Just put a generous amount of white pepper and a bit of salt to season, and you get this fantastic, fantastic pancake. It's absolutely true, the best things are the simplest, and these pancakes prove it. And the pizza as well, you really can't go wrong with the pizza. And as I said, these two recipes also work with vital wheat gluten dough as well, so you can pick and choose whatever works for you. I hope you liked today's recipes and will give it a go. And it's just so wonderful to be able to create these super quick and super easy snacks to spice up your life. And I'd just like to say I really, really appreciate your support and your wonderful comments. I read them every day and I try to reply to you as many as possible. And I particularly love it when you tell me your cooking story and how you get on with the recipes and how it turned out and how you enjoy it. And it really brightens my day. There'll be questions I don't know the answers of, but I know you're supporting each other, you'll help out each other with the answers. So I'm just so grateful and happy to see that. So I hope all of you are staying home and staying safe. I'm currently trying to limit my trips outside to once a week maximum, just for essential shoppings. And whenever I can get grocery delivery, which is very limited at the moment, I'll get it and I'll skip the trip outside that week. So it's a balance between getting some fresh air sometimes, maybe do some exercise versus the risks you could put yourself into by going out. So I'm making that judgment as I go along day by day to maintain my well-being and my balance. And cooking is definitely one of the ways that, you know, it's such a wonderful distraction, and then you end up with wonderful food to eat as well. And for those of you who still have to venture out to work, to perform essential tasks, to support the rest of us staying home, I really, really thank you from the bottom of my heart. And please stay as safe as possible. So follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. I post the food I eat and the recipes from this channel. So make sure you check out my Instagram. So thank you for hanging out with me today, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.